skies and real estate photos and landscape photos and all those photos that you have a sky in, even a portrait, where the sky just doesn't do it justice. Just doesn't do the photo justice, doesn't make you feel good. The sky is just bleh. That's what this video is all about. Hey, this is Scott Weidenkivowitz, a storyteller with a camera, talking about all the things photographers like you and I are thinking about. And in this video, I want to talk to you about replacing skies in photos. Ethically, easily, all that kind of fun stuff. Now, as a purist, I tend to not do many things like removing objects and replacing skies or things like that. I do some basic editing. I am a purist in some ways, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, like cleaning up someone's face in a portrait, in a headshot, or replacing a sky in real estate photos. Now, before I dive into this, I just want to point out I am not a real estate photographer. I do have a client who has a real estate investment business, and I do photographs for them, but I am not a real estate photographer. I don't do photos for properties that get listed with MLS for sale or rent or things like that. The work that I do is more for insurance purposes and that kind of stuff that the investor needs for their properties and document for their social media efforts and stuff like that. But with that said, there are times where I have to replace the sky, and On One has made it easier over the years, and even Photoshop is starting to make it easier. But Skylum just made replacing skies super easy, and that is what I want to show you. But before we dive into that, is replacing skies ethical? Well, sure. It does no harm to anybody, really. It does no harm to the business, the homeowner. It does no harm to anybody. It's just a matter of, is it ethical to yourself? In your mind, is it ethical? So if you're like me and you're a purist, maybe you don't want to do it, but at times you might have to. So let's dive into the computer and check out Skylum's Luminar and their new AI sky replacement tool. Okay, so here we are in Skylum's Luminar 4, and I've got a bunch of photos, 5 photos that I want to show you, okay? Now, the first 3 photos are obviously homes, they're properties, and then the last 2 are portraits. And I want to show you basically what, AI sky replacement can do, right? So here we are. Here's one photo. Now, this is an old photo from one of my clients, and the sky's okay, it's blue, but it's just bland. It's just a bland blue sky with no clouds, no nothing. So if we go to edit, and I want to go and add in AI sky replacement. Okay, here it is. Under palette, we're gonna do AI sky replacement. I'm gonna turn that on. We're gonna choose a sky. So I'm gonna say bright blue sky. Look at that, look at that. I didn't have to do a thing. It just did it. And I can go in, I can edit the mask. You can actually adjust the horizontal blending, or horizon blending rather. So you can make the horizon adjust. You can relight the scene. So look what it's doing. It's actually adjusting the light of the scene to match the sky. And I'm going to just reduce that just so it's not as dark. And then you can actually make the sky global or not global. Okay, so if you look over here, watch what it's doing in the sky over there. Look at the houses over here. It's actually adding it back there. I'm going to just reduce that so it's not as potent. But you can see right here, look what it did. I'm going to turn that off and then turn it on. Off and on. I did not have to do any masking, but I could if I want to. I could, even go in and do here. I could defocus the sky, not make it so, not make it stand out so much, which I probably want to do because I want the house to be more in focus. I could even flip the sky if I want, which that still looks kind of cool, but I'm going to flip it back. And then I can even edit the mask. So I can edit the mask and I can brush away if I want. I can brush away from here to make sure it doesn't show up there. I can even invert that because I think I just masked it the wrong way. But you can, so I can preview that. And you can see here I can go like this and just mask the building. I'm just going to do this fast so you can see it. But I can mask away the building. And then I can even invert that. So I can invert the mask. And now it's there. And we can hide that, and there, now it's there, all right? So we can go ahead and just erase the mask from there as well. We can do it from over here so that the buildings are not masked, and so on. So I can show you over there as well. So that's it. That's sky replacement. I can quickly just go ahead and just change the sky in one shot. Look at that. Really quick. That's how powerful their AI is for sky replacements. Now I'm going to go to this next photo. Now this photo is a property that had fire damage. And again, I want to turn on sky replacement. Look how boring that sky is. It is not attractive. Now, obviously the photo is not, properly edited. I haven't edited this at all. It's just straight out of camera. But we're going to go in and we're going to make the photo a sunset, right? And watch, look at that. Now the photo is a sunset. Look how good that looks. We can go to dramatic sunset. Let's see. Look at that. So it's kind of funny because it kind of gives this fiery look, and this was a house with fire damage. But I think this distracts too much from it. So let's just go to sunset cloud. Just see how that looks. That looks better, right? That looks a lot better. And then we can go in and we could defocus the sky. So the focus is all on the property. I think I might even, let's check out the relight. So that's going to add this sort of sunset look. I'm going to take that away. And that way it's just the sky that's being, the lights being changed. Let's check the horizon blending. I think that looks good. That basically adjusts where it matches everything else. It just blends. You can do close the gaps. So that's going to help with the edges as well. And local, I think that does like different things like windows. And I'm not exactly sure what each thing does, but you can then adjust the exposure of various aspects of this. So this is doing everything but the sky. So I can actually brighten it right from here. I can brighten the photo, but not the sky. And then of course you can add the mask like I just showed you. You can even do it with luminosity if you want to do the mask with luminosity, right? You can do that as well. But so that's this. Look at this. Look at this. Before and after. Before and after. Look how cool that looks versus the original. And that's just AI. I didn't have to do really any masking. If I don't want to, I don't have to do masking. Let's do one more real estate photo. Let's choose this photo and let's turn on sky replacement and let's do dramatic sunset 6. Let's see what this looks like. Now you can see it takes a little bit. That's because it actually has to, find where the sky is. But look how good that did. I actually like this one, but I am going to bring that up, the exposure of the house, and I'm going to take away. I'm not a big fan of sky global and the relight scene. I want that down because I don't want the light from this. Look at that. See how it's over the house? I don't want that. I'm going to take that away. Let's add it a little bit, but not too much. And we got to make sure that it's not on the house. So I'm going to have to do that as well. Let's see. There's the sky. Okay. Now, let's try. All right, there we go. So Sky Local is actually removing it more from there. And then I can go ahead and I can also just, erase from here just to make sure that it's not on there. And look, you can adjust the size and all that stuff. I have a Wacom tablet, so I can adjust the radius with the Wacom tablet, big and small. You can see the mask. See, it's all thinking because it's doing a bunch of different things. I'm masking. I've got AI going on. It's doing a whole bunch of things. And I'm done. Once you turn on pen support, it definitely slows your computer down even more. I don't know if that's something that's just integration with Wacom tablet or if that's just something that Skylum has to figure out. But look at that. Look how much better that looks with the sky. Right away, I think that looks better. Now let's move on to people. Now you've got some fine details. Look at the hair. You've got fine details in the hair. There was a very windy day. So look at this. The hair is sort of blowing all over the place. And this was a proposal and then engagement session. And what happened was I was expecting a beautiful sunset. And this is the sunset we got. So the sky was very boring that day. And so let's just replace the sky and see how it looks. This is a sunset. So I'm going to do dramatic or just regular sunset 3. Look at that. Okay, now it looks too fake. I could do some adjustments, but I want to find one that's a little bit more realistic, like that. And there's actually a helicopter in the sky. Let's see if I can... Look at that, there's a helicopter in the sky. So we're going to want to remove that in post, because that's just, you don't want a helicopter in your sky like that. But we can go ahead and we could also do this. So let's start messing with the settings and see what we can do. Horizon blending. There we go. Look how soft that makes that. And we can adjust the position. You can zoom it in, zoom it out, just to make sure it matches up perfectly. There, that's what we're going to do. And then let's check out Relight Scene and see what it does. So I like this because it adds some warmth to it. It is a sunset photo. So for this photo, the Relight Scene actually works very well. But I do want to zoom in and make sure there's no clouds on them, because that would be weird. Okay, no clouds, we're good. And then we could also adjust the exposure of them and the contrast of them. And then we can also defocus the sky because, again, the focus is on them. And then what I want to do is I would actually go in and clone away that helicopter that's back there. So I'm going to go to the edit and then clone and stamp. And it's going to bring me into that. Let's just zoom in on that helicopter. I know that's the helicopter. All right, it's done. It's gone. See how easy that went? Now we're back. Let's zoom back out. You can see the helicopter is gone, and now this photo is done. I had to do very little to edit this photo, which is amazing. I love how fast that was. It worked very well. Now let's try it with the front of them in a dark photo. Now this was sunset. I had one strobe, and I was not umbrellaed or softboxed like I should have been. I just sort of did bare bulb and had it pretty high output, and that was it. But the sky did not work out. The moon looked really cool, but the sky did not work out how I wanted to. So let's try let's try a dramatic sunset number 6. And you can see it's all over their face. So this is going to be a tricky one. Let's try dramatic sunset 5. And let's just keep trying. We might have to do just a blue sky because, oh, this one might work. We can try this. We can try this one. And then we basically just need to make sure that we don't get it on their skin. So we have to do, let's try the global setting. Let's try that slider and see what it does. And it's not, oh, there it goes. So that did get it. The sky actually looks better there. We might actually want the sky global down for this because it is a nighttime. Let's see, relight scene. Let's put this back on. I think it's just a matter of playing with the sliders really to see what works for each individual photo. Yeah, relight scene off and probably even sky global down just to get clouds in the sky. We need some clouds. Really, I like some color, but I could do the color, but I have to do a bunch of masking here as well. To add it back with sky global and then close gaps. All right, and then let's defocus the sky. And then let's even darken that sky. Let's go to, let's see, what can we do to darken this? Let's, first of all, let's mask away it from them. Make sure that I'm going to turn that, okay. I'm going to paint it on, just and then just invert it. So I'm painting it on, and then once I'm done, I'm going to invert that mask, hide it, and now I'm probably going to have to do some painting it back in a little bit close over here. Paint it back in a little bit just to get close. And you can see it's back on them again, which is interesting. So I'm going to have to adjust that. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So there we go. I mean, it looks a little fake, I think, on this one, probably because the sky was dark. So this is maybe one of the limitations. But let's try a different sky. Maybe dramatic just won't work for dark photos. Yeah. See how fake it looks? I think that might be the problem, that we can't really do that. But you can also load your own. So if you get another dark sunset, then maybe switching it to that would be better. See that's not bad. You get the idea. See, I think I might go back to sunset 4, and then I got a little bit more masking to do. Oop, I hit the wrong button. I got a little bit more masking to do, as you can see right here. So I might go in and just adjust that that mask a little bit more. There we go. Get rid of those lines that are there. And there we go. So now that's done. That looks a lot better than what it was before. But again, it's still not too realistic. I mean, this looks better than that. You get the idea. But that's sky replacement in Skylum Luminar, and it's all AI based. Very little editing. I did a little bit of masking here and there. Sometimes didn't really need to all the time, and it worked very well. So I'm impressed by where AI is going. I love how vintage this one looks with that sky and that tone. If you have any questions about Skylum Luminar's AI sky replacement, comment below. I look forward to answering those questions.